in case you missed it, don't be embarrassed. There was a race held this week in New York. A pretty big deal for those in the city of New York because it included, well, hell, a bunch of candidates, one of which was the former governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, who had been leading the race the entire time. And then as a result of the elections, when people got out to be able to decide, they told us what they wanted. Let's run this clip and see what people chose.
Republicans are slamming Mamdani as anti-capitalism and anti-Semitic for criticizing Israel, which he denies. He says he's focused on the cost of living.
We have won because New Yorkers have stood up for a city they can afford. A city where they can do more than just struggle. One where those who toil in the night can enjoy the fruits of their labor in the day.
Yeah, so we saw and got to hear the news media on the introduction to Zohran's speech wanted to typecast this race as sort of being about, frankly, the big national issues. And it sounds to me, based off of the little and very limited following that I was able to do from, down here in Florida, it sounded to me like this brother really leaned into the everyday issues that appear to be showing up for people. How do I, get groceries under Trump's economy and still be able to enjoy the quality of life that I thought I was going to enjoy, living here? They're talking about housing. They're talking about rent rates and how it is that corporate New York has really taken over so much of the real estate and made it quite unaffordable for regular everyday people to live in the city. I just wanted to quickly share with y'all that some of the surprise in the outcome of this race was really borne about because the money advantage was so significant, obviously, for the former governor. The former governor also, in the lead up to the election, over Mamdani enjoyed significant black support throughout the city. He began to close the spread of support amongst black voters throughout New York in the lead up to the election, collapsing that quite a bit and obviously running away with it. I'm curious to know from the two of you real quick is whether or not you think this has greater implications for the city of New York, or is there a message here for Democrats as they figure out how it is they run and win elections again?
Yes, there is a message here. So I have to say, because I understand if you don't live in New York, you might be thinking, well, why do I care about the New York City mayoral race? But it's so important because to me, it shows that you can still inspire people. He ran on a very progressive platform. He was a state assemblyman, an immigrant who lived in Queens, born in Uganda. He was a part of this rap group. So there are all these videos of him with all this flavor, rapping with in this rap group. He's Shia Muslim, married to a Syrian woman, and it's such an important story. In transparency, we have a friend in the race. Well, somebody we know who I would call a friend in the race. Anyway, Angela. Y'all, if you're listening, Angela's making a face. Anyway.
I just praying, talking to Jesus.
Okay. I have a friend in the race, and I really value people who have conviction in their beliefs. Mm-hmm. And Mamdani had conviction in his beliefs. When they asked, he is not running for leadership in Israel. He is running for leadership in New York City. And the way the media, the political elite, the donor class all tried to crush this man's campaign because he did not have some undying loyalty to Israel. He defends Israel's right to exist just as he does with the Palestinian people. And so the friend that I have in the race hedged a little bit and completely reversed something. He was highly critical of Israel. And then because all this pressure around him, he walked back his words. And it's I didn't mean that when I said it. And it was disappointing to see. So I was out loud and proud and happy to support Mamdani in this race. And to me, why it matters if you don't live in New York, it just shows you can be who you are authentically. And if you jump out there and take a chance and run for office, support somebody who's running for office, take some sort of action, there can be victory. All you people who ask about third parties, well, third parties, you're very seduced by the president. Can we elect a president who's a third party? Mamdani happens to be a Democrat, but a third party person could have run on that same platform and won this race. It wasn't about the party. It was about what he was saying, making public transportation free, freezing rent, and those things resonated with the people of New York. So I love it. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be more to watch here, everybody. So if you're listening, know that these were the primary races that were held this past week, and that there is still a possibility that candidate Cuomo, former governor of New York, may file to run in this race and go to the general election by running as an independent. And so lots to watch.
Cuomo, don't do that. And if New York, you have a chance to send a message to America right now by doing something progressive. And I applaud you all for electing Mamdani as your candidate that you're taking to battle. But please do not put Andrew Cuomo. He and Trump share the same donors. It's like we always say, white supremacy is nonpartisan. Not that he's a white supremacist, but they share a lot of the same supporters. So, anywho. Angela, I know you live in Seattle and you're like, I am not really into this mayoral race, but what I think you are into is the message it sends.
Yes, I will tell you the one thing that I've been following on social especially is the number of folks who have felt encouraged by this. It's really hard to come out of November last year and not feel all the hopelessness and be like, well, what do we have to do? Like, there's no point. And also it gives me, I have some questions about these election results still, because I don't understand. I'm talking about from November, not from Brother Man winning yesterday. This week. I want people to remember that there's always something we can do, even when it does feel hopeless. You might not be able to see it. But the Bible talks about midnight, and a lot of us were raised in the church and we always hear that midnight is the darkest hour, but dawn has to break at some point. So congratulations to New York on the dawn breaking sooner for y'all than the rest of us, but the dawn is breaking, it sounds like. Native Land Pod is a production of iHeart Radio in partnership with Reason Choice Media. For more podcasts from iHeart Radio, visit the iHeart Radio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.